Joe Pasillo and Joe Rossinello, and once more, let us go into the breach. Joe, your boy Trudeau. I call him your boy because you've kind of been on him. You've been kind of been on him a lot over the last 2 or 3 months, maybe even longer. And I will say, look, this guy serves it up, man. I mean, he serves it up. I mean, there's something about he's saying or doing something atrocious on a daily basis. So I applaud you with your videos, Joe. And listen, all you people out there, please go on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, our Twitter page. And Joe just exposes this guy for the lying joke that he is. But now he's saying that he's accused of playing politics. I'll let you know exactly what it is. In response to it was New Brunswick's parental rights policy. Okay, Trudeau is being slammed for his decision to condemn New Brunswick, requiring schools to inform parents that their children are transitioning genders. He is, Joe, playing politics. He's injecting politics into something where politics shouldn't be. He's condemning New Brunswick because New Brunswick is saying, and this is not New Brunswick, New Jersey. This is New Brunswick, Canada. For those of you out there not familiar, that New Brunswick is saying no. If a kid is showing these things, then you got to let their parents know. All right, and he is playing politics and doing his typical crying and anger and all the things that he does on cue, by the way, like that, because I've told you a million times, Justin Trudeau is nothing but an actor. But, Joe, what are your thoughts on this? Because you've been all over this guy. He is playing politics with this, and there should be no politics involved. Kids can't do anything, without their parents knowing about it. Point blank, period.
Well, what I would say is this. I have 5 children. If you wanted your kid to take, say, cough medicine at school over the counter, and you gave it to him or her, to give to the teacher, to give them, you would have to have a note.
A note, right?
That's
for cough medicine.
Now you're talking about something that's forever, altering a child's or guiding them to alter their gender. It's a forever action, whether it's chemically, whether it's surgically, you're encouraging them to do something. At the minimum, you have to tell their parents.
Right.
Not only is it irrational, not only does it step over the line, it's a loser. And frankly, a lot of the politicians that are basically sticking to this hard line, if you ask me, they're going to come up a loser because there's gay people that are against this.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah,
like this is what I mean. Like
gays against groomers.
It's too much. And I'm going to use Bill Clinton as an example. I didn't care for Bill Clinton, but I will give credit where credit's due. Bill Clinton, maybe in my lifetime, was the most gifted politician. And why do I bring him up? When he was behind the 8 ball, he knew when to give a little bit. He would give a little bit of rope because he had to exist. This shows that you're not a gifted politician. This shows that you're an ideologue, and ideologues eventually fall out of favor. This is pushing too much. It doesn't matter whether it's in Canada, whether it's in France, whether it's in America. It's a loser. It's apolitical. It crosses all identities. I'm a Democrat. I'm a liberal. I'm a progressive. You're a mother and a father, and you have a right to know what your child is doing. You pay taxes, and there is no government, school, president, governor, mayor on the earth that has a right over your authority as far as a mom and a dad.
Absolutely.
Period. End of story.
Absolutely. And here's what he's trying to say.
It defies, once again, logic. It defines the law.
But Joe, you mentioned the right word about this actor, Trudeau. Okay. He's the one playing politics. Okay. Here, listen to what he said. He said the prime minister has opted to label parents concerned with gender ideology in schools as, quote, far-right political actors. That's what he's calling parents, Joe. And he says trying to outdo themselves with the types of cruelty and isolation they can inflict on these already vulnerable people. You are inflicting something on them, actor. You and your people like you are inflicting this on these kids because you won't counsel them. You won't do anything to help them. And what winds up is either they're going to have buyer's remorse And we're seeing that all, by the way, Joe, that is now the new growing thing is the detransitioning people who are coming out and saying what Chloe Cole and others have been saying, which is we were told to just go ahead and do this as underage people. Okay. They're either going to be hopefully detransition because they get buyer's remorse, or Joe, they're going to end up dead because of people like Justin Trudeau. And all of those that are pushing this on these kids. These kids are in vulnerable positions because of people like Justin Trudeau, not because of their parents. Their parents have the child's well-being at heart, okay? Whereas Justin Trudeau has political power in mind, and they're using these poor kids. But do you see, Joe? Do you see how the actor operates? He's given his script, and he goes out there, and he gives a remarkable performance.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'll tell you when it's going to end. There will be a lawsuit. It's always the lawsuit, just like Dobbs. There will be a lawsuit where something happens in one of these type of surgeries. The outcome, you can't predict the outcome, but it will be something. The parents will sue the doctor, the hospital, the teachers, the school board. They will win. They will get rich, and then it will end. And sadly, before that happens, there will be nothing more than carnage. Because sadly, America runs, and Canada too, it's legal precedent and money. And as soon as it's not in your favor to think like that, to act like that, it will end.
Right.
And that all of this nonsense that I care about, it will end. And that's how it's going to end. In the meantime, it will wreak havoc on parents, on children. And I'll say it again, it's a political loser. If you were smart, you wouldn't touch it. Even if you were conniving, you wouldn't touch this.
Well, Joe, remember, but here's where conservatives, both in Canada and the United States, need to hold firm. They know what the left, the enemy, they know what you just said. They know that. What they're going to try to do, if they've not done it already, I haven't looked into it, is they're going to try to pass legislation that shields doctors and counselors and the schools and the school board from those very same lawsuits. And conservatives need to stand firm on that. Say, no. You don't get it every way you want. If you're a doctor and you don't counsel that kid and let them know exactly what the risks are and everything else, and you go ahead and do that, you are opening yourself up to a lawsuit. Same with the school board, same with the teachers, same with all of it. You cannot be shielded from a lawsuit.
Joe, I'll be honest with you, that wouldn't hold true at the Supreme Court either. Pass the law. Know what I'll say? Pass it, and we'll take it to court. The only way you get around that is if you sign a waiver. Like if you wanted a bungee jump off of a 60-foot platform and you sign a waiver that basically says, I know the risks outside of such a law. And that goes back to our conversation with that doesn't hold muster. Well, it might hold muster for a little bit of time. You're playing fantasy land in your head. And that's what a lot of this is. Because, Joe, I hate to say it, these people are not standing on solid ground themselves, and their lives are a wreck. And that's another thing. You tell a tree by the fruit it bears. Look at the people who are legislating. I don't want their lives. I simply don't. And in many cases, their lives are a wreck. And they're going to tell me how to live. I'll be honest with you. They should look how I live. In all honesty.
I agree.
But they don't.
Right.
And that's and not that I'm perfect. I'm not, but I'm functional.
You're stable. You're stable.
Are you? And that's the point. The answer is a no.
Right.
And that's my point. And because you tell a tree by the fruit it bears.
Well, there's some pretty rotten fruit. There's some pretty rotten fruit coming out of there. You get like guys like this guy, Seamus O'Regan. He says, what's his name, Joe? Poilievre. How do you pronounce Pierre's name? Poilievre?
Pierre Poilievre.
All right, so he says, he tweeted out, guys like Pierre Poilievre talk a good game about freedom, but not all kids are free to be themselves at home. Not all parents are accepting. Not all homes are safe. Schools can be. Schools should be. You want to lop off a 16-year-old girl's breasts, and you call that providing a safe environment? The parent wants to prevent their daughter's breasts from being lopped off, and you're saying the parents aren't being accepting? No. My kid's confused in that case, and I'm going to help my child get unconfused. But I will take care of my child and get the F out of my business. That's what I would tell guys like Seamus O'Regan Jr. or whatever his name is. Joe, we got to leave it there. Thanks for joining us at the Frontline with Joe and Joe. Stick around for more great content. Securing your data privacy is more important than ever. Start your free privacy scan and see how much of your data is being sold on the internet. Offering data breach monitoring, bulk data removal, and agency protection, DataSeal.io is the best and most affordable way to secure your data from ending up in the wrong hands. Remove your data today from the internet with DataSeal.io. That's DataSeal.io.